Hello and welcome back to Awakening to Your Story TV, the place to learn, get inspired, and be supported with heart-centered solutions for your everyday problems. I'm your host, author, emotional heart expert, and self-love enthusiast, Alicia Hartzell. Today we're going to talk about how to deal with jealousy and feeling like you don't have what it is you want. Our question is this: Dear Alicia, I hate to admit this, but I am so jealous of the people I see on Instagram and Facebook. So many people have all of the things that I want, and it makes me feel like I can't have it. I don't like feeling jealous and frustrated when I look at beautiful posts, but I can't help it. I feel like I'm on the outside of what it is I want, looking in at other people having it. How do I get over my jealousy of other people? Signed, Watching from the Outside. Now, I could say that it's not about the perfect image that people post on social media, because we can't really know what is going on in someone else's life just because they post something. You will never be able to know what is real or scripted in someone's life from that small window of social media. In fact, that doesn't really just apply to social media. It happens in real life too, with people that you have in your everyday existence. Sometimes these people that you see every day look like they have it all put together, when really, they're battling the same voices in their head that you are. Maybe they just have a better way of hiding it. But here's the thing. While everything I said is true, if you feel like you're on the outside of your desires looking in on other people having them, those truths probably aren't going to do anything to make you feel better. So I want to offer you something a little bit different. A perspective on jealousy and witnessing the very thing that you want being manifested in someone else's life. I am a firm believer that everything that comes into our lives is information to serve our higher good. Nothing happens to you. It all happens for you with no exception. So when information comes in and creates a negative reaction within you, that reaction is there to help you identify and create language for two different things. The first is the limiting belief that is holding you back, and the second is where it is you want to go. So if you are seeing something in social media that elicits a reaction, there is no better place to show up and do your heart's work. We all want more than what we have. It's part of how we're designed. Desire keeps us reaching and expanding, not just externally, but also internally within ourselves. It is in this reaching beyond our current capacity that we get to create, and we can detect those limiting beliefs that keep us separated from our desires and also our truth. The whole thing is a process of creation, and it takes time and attention, but you have to pivot your point of view inward so that you can do your heart's work. When you find yourself looking at that image on social media and you emotionally bump up against it and it elicits that reaction of jealousy and you run with it, it feels bad. Your focus is on that other person and not having the very thing that you want. You let that jealousy highlight the limiting beliefs and fuel the negative voices in your head. Those voices convince you that it's out of your reach. They tell you that because you don't have it right now, you will never have it. They tell you that you aren't worthy of it anyway. Oh man, once those negative loops start, you really feel left out and on the sidelines looking in. But what if rather than following that reaction down the path of thinking, instead you pivot inward and you use those feelings of jealousy? When you pivot and focus inward, you get to let those feelings illustrate your limiting beliefs and pave a path for deeper understanding of your dreams. Now let me explain. Make it more neutral by taking the other people or person out of the equation altogether. It's not about them anyway. It's about you and your story and your ability to return to your truth so that you can co-create the very thing that you have been longing to experience. So what is left? It's the language that illustrates those limiting beliefs. What you said in your question illustrates the limiting beliefs that say, I'm on the outside and I can't have what I want. These limiting beliefs were handed down to you by other people or picked up through challenging situations from your past. They are not fundamental to your being. Now, there are a lot of ways to shift these limiting beliefs. In the Awakening to Your Story Starter Kit and book, we do a lot of origin story work around limiting beliefs. We go through exercises and repattern back to your truth, and if you want to dig deeper into that work, you can find them on the website. For now, you can just notice the limiting belief for what it is, a handed-down belief that is separate from you. Those negative voices in your head that chant the limiting belief at you, they're not your own. From there, you get to get curious about your truth. Look to see if you can uncover it for yourself. Your truth is usually the exact opposite of what is limiting you. So for you, it could be, I am on the inside and included and fully able to have what I want. You can tweak it to find what really sits well with your heart and sets it free. Then, rather than following those negative voices down the path that feels bad, you get to follow a new path. Once you find that truth, I am on the inside of my dreams and fully able to have what I want, the next thing is to build up that language around it, right? What is it that you really want to feel? How does that really feel? Remember, it's a creation process, and it takes time and attention. It happens one thought at a time. So without those nagging, limiting voices in your head, you get to daydream about how it feels to really live out what you want. You get to freely picture it for yourself. And I want you to write about it, meditate on it, let it tickle your soul and feel good as it circulates through your mind. All the while, you are holding your truth on the inside, the way you want to have it. When you use your feelings to help you illustrate where you are and where you want to go, you no longer have to follow the negative voices in your head. You have a productive way of using those voices instead. As you do this, when you look at those posts on social media, rather than illuminating the limiting belief, they get to light up your truth. Those images become reminders to plug into that truth. They help you to see that if someone else has created it, then you most certainly can create it too. Seeing them helps you believe that you're closer than you think. With each thought, one more aligned with your truth than the next, fear starts to fall away, and you start to feel better. So it's not as much about getting over the jealousy. It's about using it to help you build up your language for your truth and your dream. Remember, all those things you want are part of the creation process. And the reality in front of you is just a culmination of where your thoughts and feelings have been. You are always in a stage of creating. So keep those thoughts focused on your truth and that source energy of love and life that run through them. And remember, it's time and attention that are going to help you create anything that you want. You are on the inside creating your reality. I want you to know it's possible. Even if it isn't fully realized yet, you absolutely can have it. So stay focused and remember, you are worthy of having your dreams come to life. And know that until next time, I am holding a place of love for you where your desires are fully realized and undeniable.
For more support, information, and inspiration, join me at awakeningtoyourstory.com.